Hello, and welcome to this video on identifying properties of linear graphs. I hope at this point you are familiar with linear graphs and you're familiar with y-axes over here, x-axes over here, and a linear graph is a straight line that plots through those points. With any linear graph, there are two main properties. That once you know these properties and how to find them, you can do anything you want with any linear graph. The two main properties are our gradient or our slope. They are the same thing, gradient and slope. And we denote this with the letter m. So the gradient or the slope we denote as the letter m. The second one is our y-intercept. And we denote the y-intercept with the letter c. Y-intercept is the letter c. The gradient or the slope is the letter m. How do we find these two properties? We've got the gradient and we've got the y-intercept. The y-intercept is fairly easy. So let's start with that. Our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is the point at which the line, so this red line here, it's at the point where that red line hits the y-axis. The y-axis is this dark black line right here. So we follow our red line all the way down until we see it impact our y-axis, this black line here. You got to look at what number that is, or what numbers it is between. You see down there that our line hits the y-axis at that point that has the number 2. So this means that our y-intercept is equal to 2. This means that c, because remember our y-intercept is c, so this means that c is equal to 2. Our y-intercept is 2, so c is equal to 2. So that's how you find the y-intercept. It's fairly easy. It's just where the line that you're focusing on hits the y-axis. Where your line hits this black axis here. But what about our gradient or our slope? This one is a bit more tricky. There's a bit more to think about with this one. The first thing I want you to recognize is where this line travels up. I want you to find places where it interacts with both horizontal and vertical lines. For example, at this point here, it just interacts with a horizontal. It just interacts with a horizontal. But here it interacts with a vertical and a horizontal. So these are the points that we want to worry about. We want to go through our line and we want to put down these little pluses. So we've got the blue one there, we got blue one there, horizontal line there we don't worry about, horizontal line there we don't worry about, and there is a vertical line and a horizontal line there. So these are 3 points, that's great. Quite honestly, we only need 2 of them. I'll get rid of this very top one and I'll pick these 2 points here. So I'll pick that point there and I'll pick this point here. Once you have those 2 points, we want to draw a triangle connecting them. So from this point, I'll go down. From this point, I'll go across and they will meet like that. Now we have a triangle. And so with this triangle, there is a length and there is a height. A height is this length here, this bit here. And for this one, it is 3. You can see we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 boxes there. So our height is equal to 3. Our length down here is this one here. It only has 1 box. So our length is equal to 1. So our height is equal to 3 and our length is equal to 1. Now what do we do with these? Well, that's where we will come back here with our gradient or our slope. It is equal to m. Another thing is that m is equal to the height divided by our length. Our height divided by our length. So if we look back to our triangle on the left, our height is 3, so I'll write 3, divided by our length, which is 1. And if you put that into your calculator, 3 divided by 1, you'll see that is equal to just 3. So this means that our gradient, or our m value, is equal to 3. Once you've done this, you can bring them together and write our final answer. M equals 3 and C equals 2. So that's what we do. M equals 3 and C equals 2. Here's another linear graph here. You might notice that it looks different, and that's okay, but we want to find the exact same things. We want to find our gradient, which is equal to the letter M, and we want to find our y-intercept, which is equal to the letter C. Gradient, the letter M, the y-intercept, the letter C. Let's start this time with our gradient. So once again, we are looking for a point in this red line where it interacts with both the horizontal and the vertical line. So already I can see that there is one here. You can see there's one there, but if you look here, you can see that it just interacts with the vertical line. And here, there's another one, but the next one here, you can just see it interacts with one line, and here is another one. So I've got 3 there now. Once again, you only need to pick 2. This time, I'm actually going to pick the outside ones. So I've got those 2 outside ones. You could pick any ones, any 2 you want, but I will pick these 2 outside ones. Once you've got these 2 lines, we draw a triangle. Once again, we draw a triangle. There is our triangle connecting those 2 dots up. It goes straight across from one dot and straight down from the other dot. Once we do that, we need to find our height and our length. Our height goes up, so it's this one here, and our length goes across, so it's this one here. How many squares up do we go? There's 1 square there and 1 square there, which means that the height is 2. Goes up 2 squares. Our length goes, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 squares, so our length is 4. Once again, M equals height divided by length. It's always height divided by length. Our height is 2 and our length is 4. And if you put this in your calculator, you'll either get 1 on 2 or you'll get 0.5. Our y-intercept now. Our y-intercept is C, and C is the point at which our red line comes down and hits this black line here. Now, if you look here, we have 2 there, and we got our 1 there, but the line is in between them. Now, we don't know exactly where that line is hitting between the 1 and the 2, but we can take a guess, and we can say that we think C is equal to 1.5, because 1.5 is halfway between 1 and 2. So we could guess that that line, the C of that line, is 1.5. Once you've found M and C, we can write it out all together. So M equals 0.5 and C equals 1.5. And that is how you find gradients and y-intercepts.